A very common topic, really, in any sporting endeavor is goal setting. And I have a lot of parents ask me about that. I have a lot of amateurs ask me about that, knowing that they've heard that at the tour ranks of hey, goal setting is very important, but how do you actually go about it? And so how I break it down is what I find most people only think about their result goals. They want to win the club championship. They want to win the member guest. And that's great, but how are you going to achieve that is where you really need to get to. So I break down goal setting into 4 parts. And so really it starts with your result goals, because that's what motivates and drives you and is encouraging to you. So that is important, and I want to learn that from every student. But what I want underneath that is, okay, well, what stats are going to support that? How many greens do you need to be hitting? How many putts are you taking per round? Those types of things. And we have strokes gained, but most people don't have strokes gained. Only the tour players have that. So I don't use strokes gained a ton unless I'm working with the tour players. With all my juniors and all my college players and all my amateurs, I want them to just be able to keep up with basic stats, fairways and greens and putts per round, which, anybody in the audience can do. So you have result goals. This is what I want to achieve. Statistical goals. This is kind of where I was last year, and here's what I'm looking to improve this year. Then you would have process goals. So a process goal, let's say the statistical goal is to go from 8 greens in 2023 to 12 greens in 2024. Well, the process is, how are you going to achieve that? How much are you going to practice your irons any given week? What are you going to do with your teacher to work on your tee ball? Do you need to do any club fitting? Like, what steps need to be taken to give you a realistic chance to change those stats from where you were to where you want to be? And then underneath the process that says, this is how many times I'm going to do it per week, or this is what it's going to look like in January and then February, would be a schedule. And so when I'm with my players, we're basically mapping out a schedule for how they would lay that out. And some of them like to do that, like, hey, here's my basic schedule for when I'm at home, and here's my basic schedule for when I'm on the road. And then I have other players who, let's say it's a college player, and they finish in early November, and they're going to start again in February. They would map out potentially every day during that schedule and say, okay, this day's off, and this day's going to be a full day, and I'm going to put in 4 hours of practice, and I'm going to play 18 holes, and the next day is going to be a half day. So for most golfers that can't dedicate their life to it, whether that's in college or whether that's in high school or they're doing it for a living, is we need to be realistic with their time and how they're going to divvy that up. And most people, I would say, that I run into that are just your basic weekend kind of fun golfers but want to improve, they're devoting about 8 hours a week to their game because they're playing on a Friday and a Sunday, or they're playing around Saturday, and then they're going to play some 9 holes one evening. So it's really being structured with how you're going to use that 8 hours. If you don't have 8 hours, that doesn't mean you can't improve. It means structure your 4 hours and be really efficient with it. If you got 12 hours, hey, we got a little bit more time. And then you got to decide where you want to put that. I think one thing that amateurs don't really recognize, though, is that you can't just go play golf and improve your golf. I mean, you have to work at it, and you have to work at it in a manner that is trying to improve the goals we've already set. So if you're like, hey, my putting is not going well, and I really want to improve my putting, but all you do is go play every week, your putting's probably not going to improve a whole lot, So that's the way I try to help players understand, is if we know what we're trying to improve, then we can dedicate some specific amount of time to it each week, even if it's only 30 minutes 4 times a week. If you work on your speed control, that's going to improve your score. So that's how I would think about it. So that's how we would break it down, or at least how I would break it down, from result goals, stat goals that support that, the process, the core things that I'm going to need to do to change my stats, and then what that looks like on a schedule. If you can follow that, then you can really, one, know what you're trying to do, and you can evaluate it as you're going through that process.